elections, PFN tells federal government. And then silver under fire over 3% equity. Buhari begs.
That should be the major header.
Exactly.
That's the major header for the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Okay, guys, that's all on the Vanguard newspaper. Now, for the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the major header here is Nigeria lost $50 billion investment in 10 years to petroleum industry stagnation, Buhari says. Okay, this is the same story as the major header on Vanguard.
Yes.
Now, this story is actually talking about how the 3% derivation to Niger Delta, then the whole state for crude oil in this country. You know, there has been some pandemonium about that. Why should it be 3%? It should be 5%, as the South state actually held a meeting and they agreed on. First of all, they said 10%, and then they said, okay, just give us 5%. And 5% out of 100, I feel like it's okay.
Yes,
but yeah, now they are saying we are giving you 3% because we want to actually restructure the crude oil market in Nigeria. Now you can find that on page 4 and page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Go check that out. And here on Dawn of US TV, we have also been talking a lot about this matter, because let me say throughout this week, or since the end of last week, this news has actually been flying, and we have been talking about it just to keep you abreast with what is happening in your country. Now, right in this story here, I remember yesterday, yes, when I read this story, Silva Timipre, okay, actually said, remember when coal went out of vogue? It didn't announce to the world that it was going out of vogue. It just happened. And now they are trying to harness crude oil as much as they can in this country. Sorry, and make good use of it. Now I'm wondering, we have been using crude oil in this country for years. For decades, we don't have good refineries.
And they didn't even do justice to the crude oil or something like that.
We don't have good refineries, number one, over the years. It's now, I'm hearing that there are some refineries that are being rehabilitated in Warri and somewhere else. It's not want to rehabilitate refineries. Well, this is a welcome development, but the pain is that, okay, we have been losing ever since.
Why is it when you they have the idea that crude oil go into oblivion, you want to take this fire brigade approach to
think oblivion is the right word to use.
To save what we have, then you are trying to say that you've not done great justice to the crude oil in previous years, then you are trying to do
what assurance is it now that the crude oil is actually taking a walk out of existence? That now you are saying, or taking a walk out of the useful bucket, that we should now be hurriedly trying to make good use. My mom will always say, make hay while sun shine.
Exactly.
Because I don't understand. If you could not make use of this crude oil a decade ago, when Nigeria was actually, let me say, the sixth highest oil producing nation, or let me say years ago, when we were still the top oil producing nations, and then we had value. I don't know how you are going to do that now. But anyways, if you say that giving 3% to the host nations and then the remaining 97% should be for renovation and all of that, it's fine as long as we see the results.
Exactly.
And like Osasoge Abiyayi said yesterday, that it's good, they should make good use of that 3%, and the government should also make good use of the remaining percentage that is with them.
Because it seems like they are working on.
They have promised us no more stagnation right now. It's on the newspaper. We have lost $50 billion. It slipped our hands. I mean, we cannot keep on selling crude oil to outside countries. We need to do this ourselves. Maybe it's now that the scales are falling off our eyes, but thank goodness. Another story here, moving on from the major header for today on the Nigeria Tribune, and that story is 1,000 policemen deployed in Warri ahead on loose coronation. That is on page 8 on the Nigerian Tribune. Beda, he read it on the Vanguard newspaper, the front page this morning. And now court freezes 86 bank accounts on forex trading platforms, and that's on page 2. And this as a result of the banning of some startups in forex trade and cryptocurrency and all of that. That's on page 2. Maybe one of these days we get a professional to actually talk about this. Yes, because this is actually
180 days.
Yes, this is actually a major issue right now because this is actually flying, and said this as a result of dollar. It is devaluing the dollar, but the naira. We'll leave that. We'll get a professional to speak on that. And another one here is 2022 budget registration of Facebook, Twitter to boost 10.104 trillion revenue targets. FRS boss. Then the rider there is Mo's plan to introduce road tax. Then another one here is AGF asks courts to dismiss Igboho's suit. Now we know the case of Igboho is how it started the Yoruba nation with their movement for secession and all of that, and then we still have it on the newspaper. Then let me just, because of time, let me just run through some other headlines here. Protests in Ibadan over killing of 15-year-old apprentice. Now this was on VOS TV news yesterday. Yeah, you should actually, like I always say on this show, follow us so that you could get the latest news. This boy was actually killed. He went to buy food by 2 a.m. at night, and he was allegedly killed by the Amotekun outfit in that area. And Amotekun now is coming out to say that they were the ones who actually killed the boy. I guess he was shot twice in the head. So this is a gruesome death. And I feel like investigation. It's not I feel like, let investigation be carried out. Let us know what happened. I'm telling you. No matter who is involved, no matter the outfit that is involved, we do not care of the faces, we do not care of the structure. A 15-year-old boy, a minor, was killed, and this should be taken seriously. I mean, there are laws in this country that kicks against the abuse of a minor. Talk less of killing a minor. So I feel like this should be done about it. Then another header here says, gunmen kill 6 in fresh Plateau attack. The insecurity in this country is rising. It's really, really rising. Every day we get to talk about insecurity in this country. But that's all we could take for the newspaper review this morning. That's all we are going to take for the newspaper review this morning. So too, we couldn't read all the headlines because of time. I mean, the Vanguard and the Nigerian Tribune is fully packed this morning, and the front pages are full of stories. They are filled with stories. So I suggest and I advise that you go get these newspapers or any other newspaper of your choice, and then you read and you get to know what's happening in your country. Be informed, not to be deformed. Or you can download the soft copy on the internet. It's always there for you. I mean, the world is changing, like we always say. It's not all about the hard copy. You could just, with your phone, you could get all the information that you want. And this is not where the conversation ends. We'll be coming back again, and then we'll talk about very interesting issue. I mean, every Nigerian can relate to this one because nobody will tell me that they don't actually eat. So when we come back, we'll get the ball rolling, and then we'll start talking. Do not go nowhere. We're still in the studio. I am Mary Jane. I still have Benahi Onofe here in the studio with me. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
VOS TV is now in Benin. VOS TV and Media Concept is an online social media TV that specializes in broadcasting news and programs to social media platforms. Our services include live streaming of events like birthday parties, wedding ceremony, burial ceremony, school opening, church dedication services, event coverage and digital packaging, professional editing, talk show and discussion, breaking news and lots more. We can help you to reach out to the world. For inquiries and sponsorship, please contact us today at number 82 First Circular Road, Benin City. VOS TV, voice to the voiceless. VOS TV is now in Benin. VOS TV and Media Concept is an online social media TV that specializes in broadcasting news and programs to social media platforms. Our services include live streaming of events like birthday parties, wedding ceremony, burial ceremony, school opening, church dedication services, event coverage and digital packaging, professional editing, talk show and discussion, breaking news and lots more. We can help you to reach out to the world. For inquiries and sponsorship, please contact us today at number 82 Firstly Circular Road, Benin City. VOS TV, voice to the voiceless.
Bring your events to the world through our social media platforms. Weddings, saying farewell to loved ones, church activities, birthday parties. Hook up with us. VOS TV Party Moments. We can stream your event live as it is hot. We have professionals ready to meet your needs. Video coverage, editing, we are here for you. Our red carpet will bring shine, glitz, glamour to your event. Contact us at number 82 First East Circular Road, Benin City, or call 080-2254-7837. Party Moments, VOS TV. Let's share the moment with you.
Alright, welcome back to the show. Done on VOS TV. We are still here with you. Thank you so much for not going anywhere. You guys are the real MVPs. Like I said earlier before we went on the break, when we come back, we'll be talking about an interesting topic. And like I said, nobody that doesn't eat in this country. I have not seen anyone that does not eat in Nigeria. Now we are facing a problem in this country, and that's a result of food hike. The prices of food is so unbearable for every Nigerian right now, or almost every Nigerian. You know, some people, they are still suffering somewhere, but some of us, we know what we are going through in this country. Yes, almost, if it's not everything, almost everything has gone up in this country, starting from fuel to, okay, the other day we were talking about plate number registration and licensing. That one has gone up. Food is not left out. I mean, Nigerians are going through a lot as a result of food and the food hike. Right now, we are talking, okay, I made mention of fuel. Made mention of fuel, rather. And we all know that the usage of fuel cut across almost everything in this country. Yes. The transportation of goods from, let me say, from the north to the south, to south here, it's actually as a use, okay, they make use of fuel. So if you increase the prices of fuel for the drivers, definitely when they get to the south, they actually increase the price of the products that they brought as a result of the market persons increasing the prices of the food, because nobody wants to be at loss.
It's a chain, because if the drivers increase, let's say they are transporting goods and everything, let's say their food and all, and then they have to buy fuel at exorbitant prices and all, you don't expect the retailers or
the wholesalers
and all to still keep price. Can you imagine, let's say you get let's say rice for this amount, let me give a figure, maybe 300 naira, and then you have the mindset that next week when you want to get rice it should be like 300 naira, and you go there with 300 naira and they're like it's 350 or 370, and you're like, this is just a week ago, and you are saying that the rice has increased. Every single thing has increased. Some persons will not even have the affinity to even what if we can do without food. I'm sure a lot of persons will have ticked it off their.
Trust me, I would have. It's just that I don't like to lose weight. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
No, it's very, very problematic.
It's appalling because it has happened to me. Like I said, it was just this. You are even saying 1 week. Mine was like the day after. I went to the market the previous day, and so I couldn't make what I was supposed to make. So I said, okay, let me just go and get this thing and just add to what I was going to cook. So I went to the market again, and then it's not like I didn't get it. Actually, I got it in smaller quantities. So I just said, okay, let me go and add to it so that I can cook what I want to cook. My sister, on getting there, was not funny. It was like, ma, I bought this thing yesterday. She said that was yesterday. I was arguing with this woman.
Come on with this, like,
how did you do it? How did you do it? Why should
this country, like, it's not a trend. Everything must increase.
Everything is going up in this country. I don't know how we are supposed to stay like this, because I was telling her, ma, I came here yesterday. You sold this thing for me yesterday. Don't you remember my face? She said, my daughter, I remember you are my customer. I said, they sell this thing for me. She said, I can't. It's not even like it was, let me just say, 10 naira in this country is not, it's supposed to be big, but because of the value of the naira, 10 naira is, do you even see 5 naira these days?
Did you see 5 naira?
You give somebody, if you bring 5 naira out from your pocket right now, it's a shame.
Worry, just keep it.
My own sister would tell me, please, Why would you giving me 5 naira? What would I still do?
Some places like that, like they should never have 5 naira in their pockets,
Giving
in their
some-
purses or anything. Even children of now, the 2-year-old children, and you give them why do you give them 5
naira. What are they going to
And
do?
they're like, what am I going to do?
Something as small as sweet and candy, 5 naira
That
cannot
cannot buy.
purchase it anymore. Sorry, I'm not a fan of confectionaries too much, although I love some sometimes. I'm not a fan of junk food. I eat good food. That's why I'm always fresh. I'm giving you hints. That's don't look at me like that. That's why I'm always fresh. But I was like, okay, let me go get this. I just saw one candy I used to buy for one time. I just said, okay, let me go and get it. You not believe that this thing is not like 15 naira. A sweet.
You can go into any shop boldly. That's if you have the mind to do that, to get anything for 5 naira. It's like say
There is
$1.
nothing
But
that
say 1 naira, 5 naira.
Yeah.
You can't get anything for 5 naira.
I don't know what we are or what is happening in this country, but I just feel like, okay, that things are going up, persons are starving. No, it's painful because the persons that could afford 3 square meal, they are now stepping back to 2 square meal. The person who couldn't even afford, have you seen granuts? There was one time I was broke in school. Oh, Lord, please help me. I was broke in school, and the only thing I could go and buy that time was like I don't have the energy to go and withdraw. So by broke, I don't have cash with me. So I said, okay, let me just go and get granuts. My sister, I went there. Granite is 20 naira. I counted the seed. It was 10. I was inside. I was like, okay, if I eat this one right now, what is this going to do for me?
Exactly.
What is this going to do for me exactly? Because I was confused. I was confused about this because I don't really know what this is going to do for me. The granite seller, I was like, ma, it's granite I want to buy. She said, that's the granite there. She said, no, ma, this one, how much is it? She said 20
In
naira.
your mind, you know that dinner, like this should be 10 naira, and you're like, no, it's 20 naira. Another thing came to my mind, like, okay, you increase a commodity to like maybe something from 200 naira, you increase it to like 400 naira. At least I should expect that product should be like, do you understand, the same size and everything. And then when there's such increments, the product is smaller, and okay, just leave it that it's smaller than its usual size, but no, there's a reduction in quality. So you see, it's a threefold.
So it's not just me that
because
notices
you
this
increase
thing.
the price, you reduce the quality, and then you reduce the size.
The quantity.
The quantity.
Have you seen
plus
some?
quality. It's
Have you seen
just
some
like,
snacks?
now there's a trend, I'm sure it has always been in the minds of everybody, when a new product comes on board and they're like, oh, I love this thing, I love it, it's amazing. So just give it 2 months now.
Of course.
Let's see if you can still give such
I said that a lot.
and that's where your prophecy will come to pass, because it will surely reduce.
What are you trying to say?
It's like everybody prophesies in this country.
Okay, some products comes out like a new product and they actually fill the pack. They actually fill the pack and everything. And then you're like, wow, this is a new product. Trust me, give this thing 2 weeks. By the time the Nigerian market hits this thing and you're not making profit, you will reduce it. Have you seen some pack? Very fine. You look at it, you should bite it. Just give them 2 months. The ink will reduce.
Well,
everything will
increase
reduce.
the price, then you reduce. At least if you increase the price, you should like
Leave it the way it was before.
exactly.
Not reduce it. Do you know how much for bread now? It's not just all those big loaf of bread. Those small, we call it student size. Those small loaf of bread that used to sell for 100 naira for a very long time. Before we knew, it got to 120. It got to 130. There are some that just like my device here. It's 140 naira. We don't know what's inside. Is it not yeast and flour? But yet they're telling us this one has increased. The flour has increased. Yeast has increased. Those bringing the things, they have increased money. So how
you
come
go to a shop, maybe happy like, and then you get there and then you see the price and then you just go there frown and automatically you turn to a mathematician. So if I buy this for this price, I have to not buy the other stuff. I have to not do that. You just go there angry, leave there angry rather, because it's not favorable at all. And every day prices increase.
Sure.
They have not heard a day that this price dropped and then we're happy.
Wait,
and then
see, in Nigeria, the law of gravity it does not appeal to this country. Everything that goes up must stay up.
Must stay up.
It must stay there. It does not come down at all. See, once it goes up like this, the only thing that does not happen is for it to continue to go up. It will just remain there. Even if they decrease the price of flour in the market, do you know that bread, it will take the grace of God for bread to not go to 100, it will go to 120. They'll tell you flour has decreased.
And they will smile.
They will smile and tell you that. So it's actually painful that we can no longer get what we could get before to actually feed. Some of us are losing weight, and I don't like to lose weight. I don't know the superpower that you have, but you have to give me some. Okay, let's just quickly look at the causes of food hike in the country. One that I have here is rising insecurity. You know, we have talked about insecurity on this show several times. In fact, most times we don't even want to talk about it, but we keep on seeing it on the newspaper, so we have to talk about it. We did also this morning. Okay, rising insecurity. I mean, in the north now, there are a lot of insecurities happening in the north. The south is not left out. There are certain things we get from the north. So when things are not going on well there, especially those planting, you don't expect them to be free to come out, and it's not guaranteed. You don't expect them to even plant, talk less of harvesting what they planted. So thereby we see scarcity of. There was a time that tomatoes was scarce. That whoever is holding a seed of, there was a time we bought a seed of tomatoes 100 naira in this country.
Wow.
For 1,000.
Oh my God.
I'm not joking.
You never want to buy it
I'm telling you. So if you don't have 1,000 naira to get tomatoes, just forget it. Tin tomatoes now is over 200 naira. Tin tomatoes in this country.
And they're like, go natural, do this.
We cannot afford the fresh tomatoes. We cannot afford the tin tomatoes. So if at least if one is increasing, we should have a backup plan. If rice is increasing, beans should be decreasing. It's not
prices increase to all this food we actually need for a proper diet, and then many persons still to junk food because it seems that is cheaper. And you know that continual usage of these things lead to some health issues.
Okay, what about me that eat junk food and I feel like the whole power I have in me has left me? Because any little air or whatever, I'm already flying. There is no power, there is no strength. I don't do junk food. So person like me that needs to feed, my head practitioner said I should eat. Don't blame me, I'm always hinting on food. I love food. So just imagine that I need to eat and then everything is going up. How am I supposed to survive?
Exactly.
How am I supposed to survive? Junk food is not good for our health. It's never encourageable that you feast on junk food all the time. So if there's insecurity somewhere, the fact that we do not know that a problem has ripple effects on other things in this country aches me.
And do you know the terrible thing? Yam that you think everybody can afford. There was a particular market or news I saw that they had to cut it into 4 so that persons can buy a chunk. Like how can you go to the market and buy a chunk?
Can you imagine?
So
how is it for a family?
The video, and I was so devastated because that's a family. Some persons can afford 2 meals in a day. Some persons cannot even afford just one. Do you understand?
Yes.
And so it's just terrible.
It's really, really terrible. Okay, another problem is misdirection of government funds to the agricultural sector. So over the years, we have been hearing we want to go into agriculture, especially this government has been hinting on agriculture. Let's improve.
Many persons want white-collar jobs. They should go into the agricultural sector, and then we have this.
Okay, you say, okay, let's improve the agricultural sector. Okay, how much improvement have we seen? Because we are still having problems. Food is scarce. Food is scarce. Food is expensive. So the Buhari government actually one time closed borders so that no more importations, that we can actually produce our food by ourselves, which I actually applauded, but sometimes it's not just having the idea.
there's a way to go about
There's a way
this
to go
thing.
about it, because every advantage has disadvantage if not managed properly. I mean, I'm not the only Nigerian who knows this. There are billions of persons, okay, there are millions of persons in this country, and then billions of persons in the world that actually knows this. So if, before you close the borders, how much have we prepared? And how much the consistency, is it there? Because now food, we cannot close our borders and say we want to produce our homemade goods. And then these homemade goods, we are not still seeing them.
You don't even really support them and everything.
You say you want to export when we don't even have enough to feed ourselves. And I always hint on one time in school, true, because I attended classes very well. I'm a good student and a good child of my parents. So one time, like in school, so my lecturer was talking about producing food in this country, and he said something that actually got to me, and it's not a lie. He said, how can we export what we cannot eat? Take the rice that we produce, for example. Have you seen the stones in that rice?
Imagine you buy rice and you have to sit.
Am I supposed to lose my teeth in what, my 20s or what? Have you seen the stones in that rice? What about the base?
God. And then you eat those things, and then
Someone said something, and though I have not done my research on it, but I'm almost believing it, because we can do anything in this country and get away with it. Someone said the rice that they produce, they put stones inside on purpose, just because when they put it on a scale, they want it to just fit. And
why stones?
what else could they put?
Why stones?
Beans is also expensive. Stones is free.
Oh my God. So I'll just say that's a conspiracy theory. I don't want to believe that.
I don't want to believe it either, but
just
have we
like,
stopped seeing it? The increment in stones in bag of rice these days is too much.
You have to
It's too much.
You have to sit like you are picking beans.
I'm saying this because my siblings prepared rice, and then they said we should eat together one afternoon like that. So I said okay, because I was already doing something before, so they just made the lunch and they said come and eat. So they said we must eat together. I said why? They said no, let's just eat together. So we sat down and we were eating. I was the only one that was throwing stone.
You can imagine me.
For like 4 times, I was like, please. I know I did not contribute to the cooking. Please, did you people set me up? Because you guys said we should eat together.
Yeah.
I'm the one eating stones. You guys are eating rice. And my sister said, you will not believe the amount of stones I took out from this rice. We are sorry that you are chewing stone. And that's why I stopped eating. Because I cannot continue. If you see the heavy stones I took out from my mouth, you'll be so sorry for me. And we say we want to produce. We can't produce something that is good enough for us. How then do we export beans to Russia? When they will see stones, then they are weevils. How do we export? Because this is supposed to be a major revenue for the country. We can't keep hinting on crude oil. We can't keep saying crude oil is this, crude oil is that. Crude oil is not the only savior in this country.
Agriculture, that should be a means.
A lot of persons are going into agriculture these days.
And it's, to a large extent, it's not favorable. Because you have to produce stuff. There are processes, you understand? And then you need lights. Lights is like the necessary thing.
Power is another issue.
And then there's no lights. You can't make use of. You can't do what you want to do judiciously. And then when you spend all your money for fuel, then what do you have to?
The same expensive
save?
fuel.
And everything, like just going through a cycle. You can't save. You can't advance. You are just stuck there. And then you have insecurity. You can't go to your farm because persons are there to literally kill you or do something or ruin your farm and everything. Like there should be some things put in place to actually ensure that the agricultural sector is favorable to a lot of persons, because it's not just a thing for you to say many you should delve into that sector and then you don't have anything to secure their lives.
You don't have anything to secure their life. They don't even have anything to promote their ideologies for agriculture. Okay, take for instance now agricultural incentives like little materials for agriculture. Instead of work materials or plants growing materials or whatever, let me put it that way, like fertilizers and all those. What about the loans that they need? The encouragement, how much do they get? And even if they get these things, is almost like you don't want to give them because it's always little and it does not come every time.
And then you come up with the statement that, or the saying that the youth should not always rely on the government. Okay, we don't want to rely on you.
I don't know.
Because our basic, as in, just secure our life. Is it too much to ask? Like, okay, you will do our roads, but save my life.
You know what? Everybody needs bodyguard in this country. Not trying to trivialize the issue.
You should save for bodyguards when people are hungry again.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. All right. Okay. Another issue affecting food hike is actually, like I said, incentives for the farmers. Another one is poor implementation of interventions by the federal government. Now, okay, we hear that, okay, we want to do this in a social area. At the end, they don't do it right. They don't do it well. And at the end of the day, we will hear something like, we are still trying it, it will take time. With everything, it's taking time in this country, and it's really appalling. Well, we have said a lot on the show, Benahi. We have said a lot, and this episode is really exciting, I must say, because I have laughed a lot, and maybe that would ease off the stress that I have been going through as a citizen of this country. It has not been easy. It has not been easy for anyone. And no, we keep praying for the country. Well, it's not just to depend only on the government. We keep praying for the government and the citizens that we all get it right, because it will take both the government and the citizens to get this right. So whatever that we need to do to actually push this country forward, we should do it, so that at the end of the day, our children to come, the next generation, will actually enjoy this country. It's not going to happen just in one day. It has to start from me and you, and then by the grace of God, everything is going to fall into place. But that's all for done on VOS TV this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. I keep telling you, you guys are sweethearts. You're very, very, very adorable. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Until when we come your way next time, do have a lovely, blessed, and please enjoy your day. The country is hard, we know. Try your best to enjoy your day. Take good care of yourself. Bye for now.